Okay guys, so we're going to start with the intro, and with the intro we're going to use just 4 chords. 4 different chords. We're going to use G chord, D chord, and A chord. So it's 3 chords, I'm sorry. 3 chords. G, D, and A. With the G chord we're going to do this. It's 3rd of the 6th string of the E string, 2nd of the A string, the 4th and the 3rd are open, and on the 3rd string of the on the 2nd string on the 3rd fret, we're going to be doing that. We're going to add that to the normal G chord, and then on the 3rd of the E, we're going to put it there. That is G chord. Then we're going to use a D chord. It's open D, 2nd fret of the 3rd, 3rd fret of the 2nd, the B string, and then on the E string is 2nd fret, D chord, and then an A chord. And I do it like this. I just use a finger. If you can't do that, it's just the same thing. So it's open A string, 2nd fret of the D, 2nd fret of the G, and 2nd fret of the B. And to start, we're gonna do that, and we're gonna do 4 rounds of the same thing. We're gonna repeat it 4 times. We're gonna start with the G chord, just 1 time, 1 stroke, and then go to D. We go back to G. We go back to D. Go back to G. Go back to D again for the last time, and then we're gonna go to A. We strike A and the A chord, and we just let it ring. And we repeat this movement 4 times. And if you want, you can add that. I'm doing palm muting, putting this part of the hand on top of the strings, so I can mute the strings just a little bit, and I strike on the A string with the open string. All right. And that's pretty much it with the intro. The next thing would be the main riff. And with the main riff, we're going to do that. So it's we can use the 4th string, the D string, and the A string, but the A string is always going to be open. All right. And we start on the 5th of the D string. We strike 1 time. All right, and after you strike, you just have to mute the strings. Then we go to the 4th, and that's it. We repeat the same movement 3 times, and then again, and then again. 3 times. And to finish, we do that. We go to the 5th position, again, we just go back there, and the open A string. And we do 1 time on the 5th, and then we need to go to 7th of the D string, and we strike 3 times again with the open string. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we repeat the same motion again, and the whole riff. If you want, you can add again the muted strings, the palm muting. You can add that. It's not on the original track at the beginning. Maybe it's at the end. I'm not sure right now, but you can add it. It sounds really cool. And the next thing we need to take a look is the burst, which is the same riff we are doing right now. We just repeat it a lot of times, and at the end we need to change something. The only thing that we are changing is that on that position, we just, when we strike the 7th and the open string for the last time, we just strike it and we just let it ring, and then we do it again. And after that, the main burst or the pre-chorus comes in. Alright, so with the chords we just repeat the same chords. We're going to use the same chords we did before with the intro, but we're going to add 1 chord, and it's a E major. It's open E string, 2nd fret of the A, 2nd fret of the D, and 1st fret of the G. That's it. That's the only chord we're going to add, and we're going to do going to do that. So we start on the D chord, we strike just one time and we just let it ring. Then we go to a G chord, strike one time and let it ring. We go back to a D chord and same thing, we just strike and let it ring. And then when we change again, we're going to change to a G chord and we're going to do something different. We're going to strike the G chord 4 times. Alright, everything is a downstroke. And on the 5th downstroke, we go back to a D chord. The last G on the 4th, it's a longer note, and then we go to a D. After we do that, we're going to use the new chord and we're going to go to E chord. We strike just one time, just like before. Then we go to A, strike one time, go back to E, one strike, and then we just finish the chorus on the G chord. We strike the whole chord and we just let it ring until the next verse comes in. So let's go again with the whole section. And we just let it ring, and then the next verse comes in and we just repeat the main riff. And that's pretty much what we did. The next thing that we need to learn, it's the solo, and after the solo we just repeat the main riff and the chorus until the song ends. So let's take a look at the solo. Alright guys, so let's take a look at the solo, and with the solo we're going to start doing the following. We do something like that. Basically we just go to the 2nd fret of the G string, we just stay there and we just strike the second fret many times. And at one point we're going to use the pick, the side of the pick, we just place it on top of the 6th and the 5th string, and we just do that, alright, and we get that sound. As soon as we do that, we go to the 5th of the G string, the 3rd one, and we strike it, and as soon as we do that, we do a tiny bend. And when we're finished doing the bend, we go to the 7th of the D string, and we do a little bit of vibrato. If you want, you can do a bar on the 5th of the G string and the B string, and you can strike both at the same time, and then do the bend. It's more aggressive. The next motion. We do something like that. We go to 7th. We start on the 7th of the D string, and we do that. 7 of the D, 5 of the G, and then we go to 7 of the G string, and we do that. It's a strike. We strike. We do the bend, and then we kill the note. So there's no release going on. We just do the bend, kill the note. We go back to the original position on the 7 without doing the bend, and we strike again. That's moving. The next part is going to be, we're going to repeat this movement. Is a strike, bend, kill, go back to the original note, and strike again, and we repeat it one more time. So pretty much it's the same motion 3 times. The next movement, we do something like that. It's 7, we strike 7 of the G string again, and we do a bar on the 5th position of the E string, and we strike 5th of the E, and then we go to 8 of the B string, and we do a pull off to the 5th position of the B string. As soon as we do that, we go back to 7 of the G string, strike 7, and then we need to make a new bar on the 5th position of the 2nd and the 3rd string, and we strike 5 of the 2nd, 5 of the G chord, and then 7 of the G, and back to 5 on the G. And to finish, we do that. We go 7 of the D string and we strike it twice. And to finish that section, we do that. We go to the 8 of the B string, we strike one time, and we do the bend, and we keep doing the bend, alright? We just keep that position, and with this hand we're going to strike more times. But notice that I am doing the bend. Let's go again. Alright, so the next movement. We do something like that. We need to slide on the 3rd string, on the G string, slide to the 9th position, and we just slide once, and then we go to the 10th position of the B string, and we strike it twice. The next one, it's the same thing, 9, slide to 9, and we strike twice on the 10th, and we need to repeat it again, repeat this motion 2 times, all right? I'm sorry, 4 times. The first 2, it's a little bit slower, and the last 2, it's a little bit faster. All right, let's go again. After we do that, we go to the 12th of the B string, and we need to do a bend and keep the bend, all right? Keeping that string. The bend, it's not a full bend, it's just like going to the 13. After we do that, we go to the 13 of the B string, we do the bend, kill the note, alright, so there's no release. We go back to the original position on the 13 and strike 13 of the B and 10 of the B. Let's go one more time. The next motion, we do something like that, and now it gets a little bit confusing because the original track, the sound, it's not that clear. It's an old recording. But I believe that we're gonna do the following. So we go to the 15 of the B string, and everything is gonna be between the 15 of the B and 15 of the E string. All right. We go to the 15 of the B. We do a bend, and while we are doing the bend, we strike again on that position. The next motion is going to be when we are doing the bend, we strike it, do the release, and pull off to the 13th position of the B string. As soon as we do that, we go back to 15 of the B string, we strike it, do the bend, and when we are doing the bend, we strike on the 15 of the E string, go back to 15 of the B, and then go back to 15 of the E. As soon as we do that, we strike 15 of the B string doing the bend, and we strike again. Let's go again, slow tempo. I told you it is kind of confusing. Let's go back again. That's what we're going to do one more time. And for the last time, we're going to strike again 15 doing the bend, 15 of the E, and then 15 of the B again. And we do the release. And the last thing we're going to do is, there's 2 ways you can do that. You can do the bend on the 15 of the E, and when we are doing the bend, you strike twice again, doing the bend, with the bend included. Notice that there's no release, just bend, keep that position, and then strike the E string again. Or you can do 3 bends. That's the idea. We need to repeat this movement twice. And the solo ends, and then the next chorus and the next verse comes to finish with the song. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, you find it helpful, and catch you on the next one.